So Proverbs 31, sayings of King Lemuel. The sayings of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. Listen, my son, listen, son of my womb. Listen, my son, the answer of to my prayers. He's telling him, listen, listen, listen. Okay, so what does he have to say about women who who think that they're equal or above me, who think they don't have to do what I have to say? This is what his mother taught him, right? So it's Mother Jerusalem in the sky. It can be seen as a little mother too, what have you. Do not, and also can be seen as their people, right? A nation. Do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed and deprive all the oppressed of their rights. Let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty, remember their misery no more. Speak up for those who cannot speak up for themselves, for the rights of all those who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly, defend the rights of the poor and needy. So that's the first section of the last chapter of Proverbs, right? Don't spend your strength on a punk ass bitch, on a punk ass nation, on a punk ass people, okay? On their generational mothers, their spirit of receiving, Zeus and Baal and all these idiots who are hell bent to rebel against me, okay? Pretty straightforward. And it says, don't be one of these cowards drinking wine who deprives the oppressed of their rights. Like the white power structure, they're depriving the people they oppress of their rights and leading them to hell, like the churches, their martial arts schools, military, police, white power structure. Remember, it says, when a ruler becomes wicked, all his officials become wicked. All the social controllers, all those white guys, and even the white girl in grade school goes, who does that? Trying to reinforce social norms. They're wicked, wicked, wicked. Okay, my mom's white and she's blameless and she's been pushing it recently, but All right. The wife of noble character is the title of the last section of Proverbs. The wife of noble character. You see how profoundly evil it is to deny me a suitable helper when the last section of Proverbs is a wife of noble character, and it connects to Babylon. Okay, instead of them having the spirit of receiving God and women who are worth marrying, the Bible is saying their spirit is receiving the devil, the beast, the kings, and the spirit of the devil, who the whore rides, the Babylonian whore, the mystery of Babylon, mother of abominations, right? Her offspring is abominations. The women in her spirit are whores. Okay, the Bible says that. For those of you who are like, no, I don't believe that. Well, why does verse 10, the first verse of the section, a wife of noble character, who can find? A wife of noble character, who can find? A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. A city, women with certain commonalities, a spirit. Nimrod's first wife, Nimrod found in Babylon, right? He is the husband of her youth, the gate of God, which God's spirit came through. So, Babylon was, according to some scholars, is called the gate of the gods, right? But there's one God. And Nimrod established it. And then there was a rebellion of the lesser kings in the area who worshiped the devil. Okay, and that's part of what the Bible's about. Same with Egypt. Okay, Cush, Ham begot Egypt and Cush. And Cush begot Nimrod, and Nimrod founded Babylon. Okay, so again, champion C, Ham. Okay, Abraham, right? And the words like Moses means to draw out, and so on and so forth, right? The words, the names of people have meaning, okay? Name, even the word name is an anagram, the letters scrambled for mean. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value, right? When you have a suitable helper, you lack nothing of value. You have everything you need, on God's time you go. If you're to die, you know what I'm saying, then you're to die. So the only thing you lack when you're in my shoes is a suitable helper. So he lacks nothing of value once he has her. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. And again, it also has implications on the city. When the city serves God, you have everything you need. All God needs, so to speak, God doesn't need anything, but, so to speak, is a city that obeys, is a people that obeys. But that's not going to happen after I'm gone. Everyone's just going to be a scoundrel-ass scoundrel. She brings him harm, not good, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with her eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. This overkills what Revelation 18 is referring to. The grace prostitute, Revelation 18:11, 18:17, 18:23 especially. I'm just going to keep going because my throat is sore. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. See Isaiah 5 and the parable of the tenants, right? The vineyard of the Lord. She considers, she says, okay, what people am I going to marry when I marry this person? So my mom, she considers, you know, what the deeper implications of my dad being a good man and a smart man are. And she decides to, you know, plant her vineyard, right? Her children are like a vineyard. Her family is like a people. Okay, so it's the vineyard of the Lord, like we see in Isaiah 5, where the vineyard of the Lord is the nation of Israel. The vineyard of the Lord here is the family of my parents and I, okay, and those who would obey God through me, okay, and the vine that God delights in is me, okay, and my dad and my mom is blameless because she married him, and there's something to be said about my brothers, but they're not blameless. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. Right? Keep your lamps burning. Right? Keep your obedience to God burning. Showing the lamp is a light. Say, what should you do? If you obey God, what do? Right? You obey God through me. Everyone else has their lamps snuffed out in pitch darkness. Okay, and Luciferian garbage, pathetic Western racist and token minority and LGBT lamps that God despises, because they're not obeying God. They're obeying those cultures. They haven't purged themselves of those cultures. Okay. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps a spindle with her fingers. She opens her arm to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. Another Revelation 18 connection. Revelation 18:12. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. The gate, right? I am the gate. Okay? She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes, right? Going back to, I think it's Isaiah 11, right? Righteousness and faithfulness, the belt and the sash. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come, just like when it said she is clothed in fine linen and purple. Fine linen stands for the righteous acts of the saints. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instructions on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness, right? She's scrambled. She's prudent, right? Her children rise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. Okay, now remember Psalm 45, it says, your beauty will make the king desire you. So a suitable helper for me is someone who's actually physically beautiful and beautiful inside, because I'm the king. Okay, but for everyone else, okay, they can marry a female who's not so beautiful on the outside, so to speak, right? You know, in a sense she is, in a sense she isn't, you know what I mean? Because they're not the king. But the king has to send a powerful message and to project perfection. Like if you're going to plant a garden in the king's garden, would you put a bunch of mediocre plants or try to find the best plants and flowers and roses, whatever, that you can find? So only a beautiful woman inside and outside is a suitable helper. Okay? And I go as far as to say no females like that exist anymore. Okay? It is, the die is cast. Okay? They're not worthy. That's part of why Proverbs 31 starts the way it is. Right? Do not, in verse 3, do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. Okay? He says focus on your authoritative tasks. But they're still supposed to present themselves, and still supposed to choose the closest thing to a suitable helper, because there's some duty, some tasks they can do. They can help me in these videos. They can read things for me. There's a lot of things that they could do.